Good afternoon, YouTube viewers. This is Big Bill live from Catastrophe Railroad, aka South Brooklyn Railroad. And today, what you see in front of you is the O-Scale DT 1053. It's the First Timers Bar, and it's from downtown Deco. And it's a Hydrocal project. It's a Hydrocal castings, and it's my first foray into doing that. Into doing this type of building, other than the plastic structure kits. And this is what I have accomplished so far. That is the front. And that is the side as we come into the better light. You'll see the markings, they give you the markings on the side, which is pretty good. I think, a lot of people have a lot of, pros and cons about working with Hydrocal. But so far so good. I like it's a small little project. That's the back. Now, the gentleman who makes these projects and makes these Hydrocals, as you can see, there's the other. Once it's all weathered up, that's going to pop out. All that, it's going to pop right out. So that's good. But what he suggests is that you use epoxy. I'm using Gorilla Glue epoxy. Now let me explain something to you about Gorilla Glue. If you've used it, you know what I'm talking about, right? But when the nuclear holocaust comes and there's nothing standing in my neighborhood and future generations come sifting through the rubble, they're going to find this. See this? They're going to find this. That's how strong this glue is. So you have to use the epoxy, and simply based on the fact that the Hydrocal plaster is a little bit porous, so it's wise to use. He states in his instruction sheet that you can use white glue, yellow glue, but it doesn't give you time to set up, and it makes the walls, if they're not set in place correctly, they'll shift, and then you have to reshift it. So the epoxy gives you, especially with the 5-minute epoxy, and let me get my big arm out of the way. The 5-minute epoxy, it sets in 5 minutes. You got a little play time with it. The other good thing about it is that he gives you detailed instructions. There's at least 10 pages here, and they're pretty well defined. But the best part I like about this is, and this is I'm reading from the thing, Step 1, prepping the Hydrocal castings. The plastic castings are fragile and need to be handled with care. So apparently he knows me. If somehow you end up with a broken piece, and this is the best part, even if it's completely your fault, the guy really does know me. Please contact me directly and I'll send you replacement parts at no charge. Isn't that the best? What company do you know is willing to replace a part, no charge? Yes, I do realize it is a plaster piece, and it could be mended with plaster of Paris and or spackle and then sanded down. But to put that in writing and to actually guarantee it, that's pretty big. For me, anyway, that's pretty big. That's pretty big. But anyway, that's so far the build. I had to do the front. He suggests that you do the right side first, epoxy it, set the epoxy, square it, and then do the left side wall the same way. Now here was the tricky part, right back here. See this wall? And then a little bit of a gap, right? I don't know if you can see it. Let me get my trusty burnishing tool out. Right here and right on top. Let me see if I can get this. See it right there? And then right there. But these can be, he said these can be adjusted, and I agree with them. This can be done with a little spackling compound, a little plaster, mix up a little plaster, and then just put it right in there and etch the brick line in there, and you can blend it in. And when it's painted, nobody's going to see it. And if anybody, I swear to you, if anybody comes in my layout and says, that's a great thing, that's a great little piece you got there, that First Timers Bar, but you see that little gap right there? Well, that kind of like ruins it for me. Guess what else is going to ruin it for you? The outside of my house when you're looking in, because you're not staying. All right? That's the bottom line. But anyway, this is the first part. Now, I know I should go through the build and do it, but I don't have the camera equipment. I'm working off an iPhone here. So to pause and stop it, I have to go through all that craziness. But anyway, what I've done so far is I've built this, I've put it together, and I've slightly, I lightly primed it with white primer. And the reason why I did that was because obviously, if he's suggesting that you do if you do the epoxy, because the plaster and hydrocal is very porous to take the cement, it makes sense that putting whitewash on here or any kind of paint finish or weathering would just soak. This would just soak it up. So I just lightly sprayed it all the way around with this white primer. So this way, when I apply the washes on the front, back, and everything else, it will take it better, and it will adhere better, I think. Anyway, but so anyway, that's the project so far. This will be part one of hopefully a couple of parts. I don't know how many. I guess until I finish it, I'll go step by step, and as I get into the weathering, I think I'll do that as I weather it. I'll just do that video, because that would make sense to me. Anyway, that's where we're at so far. I hope you like it. Looks like a good project. I would suggest it's not that hard to do. If I could do it, you notice I said if 3 times. If I could do it, anybody can do it. Because I ain't the brightest bulb in that pack, Chief. I'll tell you that right now. As I'm like Fredo in The Godfather. I'm smart. I could have been the head of the family. Anyway, that's a different story for a different time. Anyway, it's pretty good. And also, you see this opening here. He suggests that if you're going to light up the interior or put an interior inside, this can be cut out. If not, what you can do is paint this black, flat black, and then apply the door there. So there's a lot of options here. And I like the structure of it, and I like the brick face of it. And I especially like the detail end, because I tell you, when this is all weathered, it's going to be really sweet. Anyway, I'm running out of time here, and I'm starting to ramble, and I don't like doing that, especially when you're doing a video. Anyway, that's that, and I thank you guys for looking in and listening and partaking, and you have a great and safe day. And remember, Monday only comes once a week. Okay, bye bye.